Hey everybody, it's Ace here, and today we're flying a stock Tornado IDS. Now, this one's the Marine Flogger from the Winter Quest event. As I'm sure you guys know, it's not the higher 11.3 one, but this one still gets AIM-9Ls, which is odd. I personally can't see much reason for why it's not as high in BR other than the speed problem that this one has. Seems to struggle to reach much higher than Mach 1. It's still faster than an F5, but not by much. So, as I'm sure everybody knows, this most recent patch, Apex Predators, they added drop tanks alongside the Panavia Tornado, F-16, and MiG-29 Fulcrum. Question a lot of people are probably asking, why have they added drop tanks other than the extreme fuel burn that some of these aircraft experience? Because on some maps, that high rate of fuel burn doesn't really come into play. At full tank, you'll get into battle, you'll dish it out, and then you can fly home before gas becomes a problem. On other maps like this one, fuel burn definitely is an issue, which is why I have the external tanks on, and 46 minutes of internal fuel. There could be another reason why they added drop tanks, to test the mechanic live. Now, why would they be testing the mechanic live on servers? Well, to see if anybody has a problem with them. I'm thinking Gaijin might be adding even bigger maps for air to provide more realistic combat scenarios for RB and simulator battles. Why the larger maps? Well, as I'm sure a lot of us know, some people would very much like to equip things like drop tanks and the sort to their P-5001 or P-47 or other aircraft for certain maps and conditions in certain areas that are historically relevant to the aircraft that they'll be flying. Does that mean drop tanks should be on every airplane? No, absolutely not. Some aircraft were never, ever fitted with them. They carried enough gas and internals to fly a whole mission sortie without issue. Should drop tanks certainly be a thing at lower BRs? Yes. Things like the Kafir have a similar burn issue on these bigger maps where they're burning enough gas. If you stay in afterburner, you're not going to get very far, and it can't fly supersonic out of burner unless you have full spaded, and even then it's not necessarily a guarantee. Ugh. Bit choky today, sorry. Come on, I didn't realize he turned. Yeah, that's the thing about the Tornado. There is no turn rate. This thing, you can dogfight it in an F-104 and win. It's ridiculous. It has no turn. There's this one speed somewhere in between Mach and 500 where it really likes to turn pretty well, but that speed is not often seen, as I'm sure you're aware. Now, because I didn't launch a missile at this guy at first, I'm curious, does he think I don't have him? Because he's not pumping flares. Hi, buddy. And I'm just going to be a total douchebag. Oh, hey, he was quick on the trigger. And now I'm just going to use my higher airspeed. Now, you can fly this thing kind of like an F-14, and here I go, I'm about to die. Yeah, that's the one problem. As I'm sure you guys are aware, You have zero ability to counter a radar-locked missile until you unlock countermeasures, which I am working on. But the other problem comes with what's the point of the countermeasures in a head-on situation like that? In my experience, chaff hardly ever works. And with a jet as big and lumbering as a tornado, it's not going to do you a lot of favors. Now, granted, this is no longer me flying, I'm spectating, but I figured I'd give a few more quick notes and points. Back to the drop tanks. Like I was saying, things like the Kafir could really use that extra range, and even the Mirage down to the Model 3. They had drop tanks back then, and they would use them to extend the Mirage's operational range for patrol missions, in specific with the Israeli military. So things like the Mirage 3C, the Nesher, and the Kafir should all get drop tanks. I know MiG-21s, at least early variants, utilized them. I don't know the historical nature between the later models, but I'm sure they were used still then. And yeah, there's dozens of jets in game that should probably have access to drop tanks, and they don't yet. And that's to be expected. It's a new feature. They're probably still testing it, which is, like I said, they're probably testing it live to see how it functions in player battles. Who's going to use tanks, who won't? Is it really relevant at the end of the day? Depends on what how much gas you're turning and burning with. If you're going to stay in burner the whole match, yeah, should probably be needed. Otherwise, good question. And this dude's horizontal stabilizer just phased back into existence. That was very strange. I noticed a lot of tornado pilots flying with these huge rockets on the wingtips. I have no idea what those are. I don't know if they're unguided, like, rocket-powered bombs or what. I don't know if they're like Tiny Tims or if they're radar-guided. And if they are radar-guided, why nobody ever uses them first. That's a glitch. I am so confused. That's a bug. And as things stand, my left and right bumpers are breaking. Okay, there's not another. This guy's just the last dude on our team for one reason or another. Anyway, I'll leave it here. Look forward to more content in the future. I did a poll on social media about whether or not I should make more videos like the previous Newport News CA-148, gameplay and history. I asked people, I did a poll, would you want more videos like that? And the surprising answer out of over 30 people that actually voted was a 100% yes. And that video is currently sitting at 41 views, so over 80% of the average viewer base, at least when it pertains to a video like that, said an absolute yes. So look forward to more content like the Newport News video, and just more naval in general. And don't worry, aviation will still be the primary content style for this channel. I also did a poll about asking more Forza videos, and I will be recording another one of those soon. So anyway, thank you for sticking around with my general whatever, and I hope to see you again. It's been Ace. Bye.